Welcome back to me. The Percy Podcast. I'm your host, Immanuel Alpha. I'm here with
your boy Jet, Johnny. Yes sir, we back in here, boy. Back in this thing. Let's do it.
Let's just get right into this because, well, last podcast we was talking about the NFL draft. I know you got your thoughts, especially go a little recap with the NFL draft. Like I said, the quarterback selection, like, of course we knew Cam Ward was going to go first, but what happened after that was pretty surprising after that. But we did say, like, during the pre-draft, like, what was surprising that he went out first round for Jordan. After, like, certain teams like the Raiders and Saints, if they don't take a quarterback in the first round, he was going to slide over to the Steelers, which he did, and then he slid more and more and more.
I don't know why teams just passed up on him. I feel like even though he wasn't considered the best quarterback, he wasn't considered. There was a lot of quarterbacks drafted before him that shouldn't have been drafted before him. Mm-hmm. Let's just say that. So, yeah, I don't know how he fell that low, but the Browns are a losing franchise. Why did they pick two quarterbacks in that same draft so late? One of them is arguable, though, like, he had a good season at Oregon, I guess. But also he was built around a very good team. And he's up and down, not consistent enough for me. So, I mean, are they going to move on from Deshaun Watson after this season or what? I guess that would be the real question.
Definitely, because I think it's getting close towards the end of the contract where they can, like, okay, we can just waive him for the last year of his contract and take on the money.
Yeah, he hasn't played in him. This is the Kawhi of football right now.
But even worse, because even when he does play,
yeah, it's not that good.
It's not that good.
But hey, golf then, bro. Ben Simmons. How about Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons is a better comparison.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, like the Jackson Dart one. That's the one that was even more crazy.
Surprising to everybody, I think.
Because he was drafted. Most people haven't taken the second, third round. But the Giants traded back into the first round because I'm pretty sure no one else in the first round was going to take him. Unless they think someone else in the second round was going to take him. But I'm pretty sure they had like an early pick in the second round to still take him. So they traded back into the first round and then drafted Jackson Dart instead of drafting Shedeur. And like later on, people said that Shedeur didn't have a good interview with the Giants. That was the one that was like more surprising. But the one I liked the most, besides Cam Ward going to the Titans, Jalen Milroe going to the Seahawks.
Yeah, That was a good pickup for them for sure. Since Geno ain't there no more. I mean, he got a chance to go in and, not only prove that he's a good player. I think he's a good player, bro. I don't know why he gets a lot of hate that he does. But I think Jalen Milroe is a good player, and I think he can make some noise out there in the NFC for a little bit at least. All they gotta do is get a few more receivers. Jackson Smith and Jima is already there, so I think Jalen Milroe will be fine. Honestly,
don't forget about Bobo. That's the player that might rather be talking about for the Seahawks too.
I think the Seahawks will be all right. Personally.
Also, which I'm probably biased, but also like the Steelers taking Will Howard, which I said that was going to happen. Guess what? PA do. Of course, Steelers going to take the local guy, which you knew what happened last time when they did that, but hopefully something different.
Well, Will Howard's better than Kenny Pickett, so way better.
Way better.
So I don't even think this is Will Howard. He showed what he could do on the big stages, bro. So only thing is he just had a couple mishaps, but that happens. It doesn't mean that he ain't a good player. I think he'll be all right.
I wouldn't rush him into the field too. All right, just let Mason Rudolph play for the majority of the season. Like I feel like maybe can the Steelers actually be the team like, oh no, we're not going to try to compete and like make it to the playoffs. Let's actually, rebuild our team, But and then Quinn Ewers falling all the way down from the 7th-round pick, going to the Dolphins. What's your thoughts about that happening?
I'm not a fan of Quinn Ewers though, so
I feel like I said something like this last year. I said Quinn Ewers should have left for the draft last year.
he
He would have been drafted in the first round because off the hype
Yeah,
from his season last year.
he should have. He waited too long, bro, and then he didn't play half of the season because Arch Manning was in most of the season. So the NFL teams were probably looking at it like, dang, is he still even this guy that we thought he was a year ago? So I don't know. I'm just not really a fan of Quinn Ewers. Never have been. I feel like the Texas Longhorns could have went further than what they did if they would have kept Arch Manning in for the rest of the season. But you know how it is in college when you want, senior. What is it? I don't even know what it's called, but like
senior sorority, something like that.
Seniority or whatever.
Yeah, sorority.
You just want the older guy in. Not even if
they're good.
They're the better fit, but hey, that's how it be.
Like that. Yeah, but overall, who do you think are the winners and losers of this NFL draft?
Biased or unbiased?
Unbiased. Because the Ravens, man. The Ravens.
I'm just trying to tell you, bro. We got some nice picks.
Golly, the Ravens.
We got pieces that we needed. Like, we drafted what we needed. So that's why I'll be a little biased, but unbiased. I can't really keep up with all the picks that each team got. Mm-hmm. I could go based off first round picks and in that case, I would say I don't know, bro. I would say probably the Giants adding Abdul Carter to the defense, and then along with the guy that Thibodeau that they already have added to that defensive front, and then I would say giving Bryce Young another option with McMillan. Didn't I don't know how to say his first. The wide receiver from Arizona, he went to Carolina, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, so I would say adding a weapon, giving Bryce Young another receiver, I guess. Because I feel like Bryce Young, give him 2 more seasons and then we can talk. But I feel like he still needs a little bit more help. If that makes sense. So I would say those two, just cause. But I can't keep up with every team's picks. I do know, I was keeping up with my personal team picks.
Of course.
So, that's why I said bias, because we got safety from Georgia, got offensive lineman and defensive lineman, and we signed linebackers. Didn't even draft them. We signed good linebackers. So, I would just say that would be my bias pick for sure. The Ravens, we added pieces on both sides of the ball that we kind of needed. So, and I think that's what matters most. Added to what you already have, just to make it better.
Yeah,
we're building on something special. So, I think we had a good chance last year, but I think we have an even better chance just by adding that piece to the secondary. So, I would just say that.
Yeah, definitely. If we're talking about bias, we can talk about the Denver Broncos draft pick.
I mean, we can.
Because the Broncos just came in and, I love their first round pick because, for the longest time, I said, we need someone right next to Pat just to lock up the other side. Because we had some games where we against the Bengals, where we let T. Higgins go off against our people who weren't getting guarded by Patrick Surtain. And then against the game against the Browns where Jerry Jeudy went off for 200 receiving yards in that game. We definitely need some more DB help because sometimes, Riley Moss was mostly sometimes our DB2 or slot DB, but then I forgot who the other dude we used to have, but the other dude that we had that just got burnt every single time.
I just like our secondary for sure though. Just Nate Wiggins, Marlon Humphreys at the other corner, Kyle Hamilton, and then Malachi Starks. I feel like that's a solid 4 DBs right there. 4 that'll make a tackle and 4 that'll,
the fact that
jump into coverage.
Jahdae Barron, he's probably the best cornerback in this draft class. He slid all the way down to the Denver Broncos.
Let's talk about Kobe Bryant not getting drafted though.
That was surprising.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a personal fan of Kobe Bryant. But it actually shocked me. Like, I think
some of the players.
I think he's gonna make some people pay for sure.
Some of the players that did not get drafted, surprised me. Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, honestly. But I think he'll be all right.
Like,
for sure.
I was surprised with some players from Oklahoma State who got drafted over others who did. I'm like, I thought Presley might have been like.
I thought Brendan Presley would have got drafted for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe I should. I was not expecting Corey Black to get drafted.
I agree. But he had good. I think his 40 time he did.
He has good size though.
Yeah,
he has very good size. He's fast.
But you saw the 40 time he did in the pro day for the Big 12. He ran like a 4.4, and they saw that. They're like, oh yeah, tall, and fast.
Yeah, he has really good size though. So it'll be, and I think that can translate really good to the NFL. Because like you can learn and learn the techniques and be better in the league. So I think he can translate well to the NFL actually, just by his size and his speed and his strength. It was just playing at OSU, not too DB focused or too DB heavy, But
that's for sure. But I didn't really like the Dolphins draft too much. Like, they got first round they got the D tackle they needed for defense, but then afterwards it's just okay. It's like them taking. It didn't make sense for them to take Ollie Gordon because let's be honest, Gordon's not going to last long in the Dolphins offense in the first place.
Yeah.
And then taking Quinn Ewers. Are they saying are they sure that Tua's going to be still out there for too long with injuries he be taking?
Yeah.
I feel like the real concern was just which they did draft the gun defense, but I feel like they could have took some more O-line help too. Yeah. But I feel like the Dolphins definitely not going to have a great year this year, that's for sure. Maybe, and also the Bengals could have definitely took more O-line too, which they mostly focus on defense, which is true. That was their other problem. Teams were scoring more points than them. They were scoring 50 points. Yeah. You lose the game 39 to 44.
Crazy.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about the NFL. I think the NFL draft was good. I'm just mad about my price picks. Because the way they had, because I landed on he gets booed more than 10 seconds. Roger Goodell gets booed more than 10 seconds. I also landed on one HBCU player gets drafted. All right, those were easy picks. I thought, okay, this one's going to guarantee. They say, more than 3.5 first rounders cry when getting name called. But the thing is, they're only going to cry if they're not in the green room. They cry when they get the phone call. They cry after they get called, during their interview.
Like if you're expected to get drafted, you're not gonna cry.
Yeah, but Cam Ward cried, but he didn't cry when he got drafted. When the name got called, he cried when he was getting interviewed and when he was getting the phone call. They should count that.
Yeah. mean, Prize Picks is a scam, bro. It's scamming you.
I know. Well, lucky it was just free play. It wasn't my money. Like, I haven't put money into Prize Picks since the Super Bowl.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Only bet when it's like something worth to bet on.
Yeah.
Those free picks, that's when I bet. Yeah, but let's go on with the NBA. And let's go over like all the games that happened in the first round. So right now, first round, the Thunder defeated the Grizz with a sweep. Nothing to say more, nothing to say less about that. Like, only thing I really want to talk about is what's next for the Grizzlies.
They traded away, bro, their biggest pieces, bro. I think that's the first problem. They fired no, they didn't fire them. But I don't know. They just need I don't know what the deal is with them. They were like legit contenders a year ago. So I'm confused on what transpired and what happened to where, well, one of the things obviously is trading away everybody. But, you know, I don't know what's next for them. They need to figure it out though.
That's true.
They were fine in the West 2 years ago. Now they're getting swept and beat by 70 in the game. I don't know.
I just like it because, like, I remember when we were rebuilding, we had that one game against the Grizzlies, and they just blew us out by like 60 or 70 points. Like, and now the tables have turned. And we're beating them in the first round by 50. Came back down from 30 points and came back and win. I don't really care what they said about Ja getting hurt, because that's what happened when you try to go and drive and dunk on someone.
Ja said he's done dunking and still tries to dunk everything. He tried to... And they act like Luke Dort did it on purpose. He didn't do it on purpose. It clearly slipped. And even... Like, I'm glad Ja is okay, but even if Ja played the rest of the game, they wouldn't have won. They still would have blew the 30-point lead, bro. Like, you were at home in a playoff game and you blow a 30-point lead. That's unacceptable.
Losers always find a way to lose.
They acting like Ja had 30 in the first half. He had 15, bro. He played 16 minutes.
Like, the only person who really played good that's probably not going to get traded from that whole entire team is probably going to be Scottie Pippen Jr. He's the only one who played
Scottie
good.
Pippen Jr. played a solid series. He only had 2 points the first game, but the rest of the 3 games, he played solid, bro. Jaren Jackson's, his numbers, his points look good, but the way he was shooting the ball was horrible. He shot like maybe 30-40%, maybe, but he was not playing well at all. He couldn't rebound at all. The best player in the series was Scottie Pippen Jr. for sure. Everybody else just went MIA, bro. Even Ja the first game only had 18-point burst.
I can low-key see Ja requesting a trade at the end of the season.
I could too, but realistically though, what team would want him? Besides a low market team, smaller market team that have nothing to lose.
Or maybe a team that can maybe a big market team that can use a star because they lost their star during the season.
The Houston Rockets, baby.
Miami Heat, maybe.
Miami, that's similar to Memphis though. Bam Adebayo, Jaren Jackson, Tyler Hero, Desmond Bain.
You got a point.
It's kind of the same situation.
Yeah.
I think he would have to go somewhere that actually has a legit chance to win. And Miami's not that.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe Houston, but
Houston,
you think Houston really would make a move like that?
No,
they have their...
no, because they would have to move some pieces around. They have a lot. They would have a lot to do. Houston's gonna be really good if they keep this team together.
Yeah.
I don't think they really need to trade anybody from that Houston team, unless you get something that's like wow. Speaking of Houston, I think Houston has to find another first option besides Alper and Sengun.
Yeah.
Watching him play last night, he's an overseas player for sure. Just by his mannerisms, when the shot doesn't fall or he doesn't get a foul, something doesn't go his way. He doesn't want to play defense. It's just like If you watch Jokic when he gets frustrated, or watch Luka when they get frustrated, it's the same thing. And that's what I'm starting to realize with all overseas players, bro. They all play the same. They all act the same when something doesn't go their way. And
Yeah.
Jalen Green, he's just got to step up. He got to get older, bro. He got to get out that. He got to kill every time.
That's like him going 3 for 8
Yeah.
in a game 7.
In a game 7, that's Asar Thompson though played great. He played great. He was playing both sides of them.
Bro,
He held Curry for the most of the game until he got that calf. Until he got that cramp in his calf.
Mm-hmm.
Curry just went off in the fourth quarter. But Asar Thompson, they could have won that game if Asar Thompson didn't go out.
Yeah.
But I think Asar Thompson just needs more people to step up with him, bro. There's not enough. Sengun got to be better. Jalen Green got to be better. Fred VanVleet got to have a game 7 just like how he had a game 6. And I think they'll be in the second round if that happens.
Yeah. Like I said, and also I think the team is young. It's their first time being in the playoffs since
2015. Well, first time having the playoffs at home since 2015. They've been in the playoffs in 2020, but that was the Orlando bubble.
Mm-hmm.
But
having a first time being in the playoffs since 2019.
Yeah.
When they lost to the Warriors back in the day.
Yeah.
So this is just you can't teach playoff experience until you actually get in the playoffs. Now they know what to do. Now the owners and GMs and coaches know what to do for next season. What they need to build on, what they need to improve.
The players know what to do as well. I don't think they're gonna be the team to beat next year in the playoffs. I'll tell you that.
Maybe they think it's gonna be time to actually move on from former 3rd overall pick Jabari Smith Jr., who averaged like 12 points this year in his 3rd year.
He got to be better too.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, he's getting looks taken away from him by Jalen Green. Jalen Green has the ball in his hands every possession. He doesn't score over 20. I think that's unacceptable, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, Alperen Sengun, he's a ball hog, but doesn't score. And it's kind of scary. Like, just watching the game yesterday, bro, he was getting bodied by Draymond, which he's way bigger than Draymond. He's much more, than Draymond. And you couldn't tell because of what Draymond was doing to him yesterday. It was kind of crazy.
But you was talking about the Thompson twins. I feel like both Thompson twins have been playing good in the playoffs. Especially Amen Thompson for the Pistons.
Yeah.
He was. No, wait. Amen Thompson's for the Rockets.
No,
sure.
Assur's the Rockets.
Sure?
Yeah. Amen is...
No, Amen's on the Rockets.
Oh. Bro.
I just remember the older one got drafted first, because, that's how older brothers are, but...
One went further than the other. Well, I guess not further. They both got put out. But
yeah. They both got, one went to 6, one went to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, but both of them played great in their first playoff run.
Yeah. Which is kind of crazy, bro. They're very young, bro. We're older than them. That's the crazy thing.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so.
No. Well, you're older than them. I'm younger than them. We're the same age, bro. They were January 30th, 2003.
Still.
You're older. Unk.
Still.
Unk. Unk.
Hey, man.
Hey, bro.
They're millionaires.
You got me there.
That's the difference.
You got me there.
Bro. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, but they're both young. They're gonna prove after this is their second season too.
Yeah.
And Amen Thompson went from 9 points a game to 14 points a game. And then I don't know what he did in the playoffs.
He just if he develops a shot, man, it's over with, bro. It's over with. Both of them. They had a shot. I'm kind of glad they didn't go to college then. I was hating at first. I'm not gonna lie. I was not a fan of
the OTE.
The OTE thing. I'm not gonna lie. But if they would have went to college, it would have hindered their growth for sure. I feel like college hinders a lot of people's growth.
That's for sure. And then you got players trapped into their college system when they were back in high school. They were supposed to be the next something,
Yeah.
and now they're been on the team for been on one team for 1 year, transfer. Oh, okay. Even though I was just a top 10 player, let me go try to start on this team and be on the same team for 4 years.
Yeah.
Now, no more eligibility. Got to go overseas. Probably won't be able to go overseas because overseas is still good enough. Still too good for them.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, but highlights can make anybody look good too. So
Correct.
But what next for the Pistons do you think need to happen for them? Them losing the 6 against the Knicks.
Nothing, honestly. They'll get them. They'll go far.
They need
next
this
season.
need to be healthy.
Yeah, they need to be healthy.
Jaden Ivey wasn't playing the whole entire series. He's been hurt for a while.
If you want to be honest, the Knicks aren't better than the Pistons. I don't think they are. I feel like if they play defense on Jalen Brunson, bro, and you have a good shot, bro. I feel like that's what the league is lacking most of the time. Just no defense, like no effort on defense, I should say.
That's
Like,
true.
the only teams that you see are playing defense really are like the Thunder and the Celtics, the two best teams with the best defensive.
Yep.
You know, and the Rockets too. You see what the Rockets did with the Warriors, and the Warriors are one of the best skilled teams in the league.
Like, even though they lost, the Warriors only had 103 points.
Yeah, like the Rockets were running a zone on them pretty much the whole series, which is the main reason the Warriors went to 7 with them. But you don't really see teams put effort into defense anymore.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if you play defense against the Knicks, that series could have easily been 4-2 Pistons, easily. But
And also, like, the Pistons just need to learn how to close the game.
yeah,
They're young, like we said about the Rockets. The first time for them being in the playoffs was since 2017, 2018, like, or 2019. Whenever when Blake Griffin was on the Pistons, that was the last time them making the playoffs. So,
yeah,
like I said, they just need to learn how to close the game. Like, most of their game, like, in all the games they lost were at home, not even away. They won 2 away games. They just need to, first of all, learn how to win at home, which, surprisingly, people saying winning at MSG is hard. The Pistons figured out twice how to do that. They just need to figure out how to win at home and how to close games off, because a couple games where they lost at home, they're by a point, a couple points, last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter.
yeah,
They just need to learn how to finish off a game.
yeah. Facts.
Which also, like we said with the Rockets, that takes playoff experience.
Yeah.
But what's next for the Bucks? Them losing the 5 against the Pacers. Giannis, literally, like, if there was
Giannis is gone.
if there was Finals MVP, they would give it to Giannis. At that point, like with that playoff run he did against the Pacers.
Giannis is gone, bro. I think he's pretty much done with the Bucks. Maybe one more season, but after that, it's wraps.
I think the Bucks is done. Period. They made a mistake for firing Mike Budenholzer for no reason. They brought in Adrian Griffin, fired Adrian Griffin when they were 36-13 halfway through the season, where they were 3 games behind the Celtics last year, and then fired him for Doc Rivers, who, like, besides winning a championship with Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, Kevin Garnett, and Kendrick Perkins,
basically, a hell of a team.
yes, back in
2008. 2008, like
2008. Like, how old was I in 2008?
5.
5 years. Exactly. You know, that's I can't, bro. That's too long ago.
Yeah.
And then now, like, just being offered to teams, like, you see, he has not been past the second round since 2010, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't been past the second round since 2010. He had a chance with the Clippers multiple times with the Lob City team. Like, especially that one game against the Thunder where they were up 8 points with 30 seconds left, and they blew that whole entire 8-point lead where they lost, in which they could have closed off the whole entire series right there. Blew that lead. Thunder comes back and win that series.
I just read the comment section, bro. They're like, Doc Rivers is like questionable, like all the time. Like, because there's no way they should have lost to the Pacers that last game. It was like
At least I saw Giannis had like a 36-point triple-double. I'm like, oh. And they're up by 8 points with 16 seconds left. I'm like, oh, they're good. Like, they won the game. I don't have to turn this on. I look back, I see my phone, Pacers win. I'm like, what?
all I see is Halliburton on the scores table. I'm like, bro, what happened?
What happened? Like, the Bucks had this
They
game.
acted like they just won the chip. And then I actually seen what happened. They blew the lead. I'm like, Doc Rivers, bro. There's no way.
Doc Rivers' finest.
Doc Rivers. Yeah, they're done though.
Yeah. But what's next for the Heat? They got swept in the first round just like the Grizzlies. Like,
Bro, they're just gonna be a loser franchise. I don't think like they can make any trades. They don't have any picks to trade.
they
Like,
don't have salary cap because they have Andrew Wiggins' contract, Tyler Hero's contract, Bam Adebayo's contract.
they're cooked, bro. They're just gonna have to lose for a few years.
The thing is, bro, the Heat should just lost their game in the play-in so we can have their draft pick in the lottery. Because that was our draft pick right there.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. I guess the 15th pick is not bad.
The 15th pick. Still top 15 in the
It's
draft.
still
And that's when the good picks come from.
yes. That's when the Thunder start cooking for real.
Yeah. We'll take it. Yeah, they're just gonna have to lose for a little bit, man.
And let's talk about the Magic. The Magic lost in 5 against the Celtics, which we all know what's gonna happen. But like, what do you think's up for next for the Magic? Because we know Paulo Banchero,
They're
he's
young.
a star.
They're young too, bro. They just gotta figure it out. I don't know what they gotta figure out, but they just gotta figure
They
it
just need
out.
to figure something out.
Just trade for a piece. You know?
Because to be honest, I know Jalen Suggs had like a
They just need another scorer.
Jalen Suggs had like a decent year, like a better year than he had in the past.
Yeah, he did.
And Paulo, he's Paulo.
Hey, if you want to be honest, I would add either another, like a good solid big, or add somebody like Ja. Just add another scorer. You know?
That can definitely work. They can definitely move Suggs to 2 and have Ja.
Paulo's gonna be at the 4 regardless.
Yeah,
Or
and then Franz Wagner.
Franz Wagner, yeah.
That can definitely work.
And they just gotta stay healthy. That was another reason.
They were hurt.
They were hurt a lot, all season pretty much.
Yeah, I remember.
Paulo was out half the season, and Franz Wagner was out half the season. So
And then the Lakers losing in the first round, which surprises some people. If you really watch,
if you know ball, bro, you watch ball. Not even if you know ball, bro. Because people say that they know ball and don't be knowing anything. If you watch ball, you would know that the Lakers were not making it out of it. Bro. The Lakers were trying to troll. I posted it. They were trying to. The Lakers fans were trying to troll the Thunder all at the end of the regular season. Talking about Lakers in 5, Lakers. Y'all won't even see the Thunder, bro. Y'all won't even see the Thunder.
Yeah, like,
Lakers in 5 and they losing in 5 is crazy, bro. To the Timberwolves, people like, yeah, the Timberwolves are good. You ain't seen the Timberwolves against the Thunder, bro.
the Timberwolves don't really want that against the Thunder.
No team wants that, bro. No team wants that. I'm not even gonna say too much because game 1 is tonight, and I'm gonna just let y'all see.
But that's pretty much what I'm talking about for like the first round. I feel like the playoffs so far was like, even though like
Pretty predictable, actually.
pretty predictable, but like besides we knew the Nuggets and Clippers one was going to be close regardless.
Yeah.
And then, that's the one thing we didn't talk about, the Clippers. What do you think the Clippers are going to do next? Because I feel like at this point it's just like the same thing.
Just blow it up.
3 years in a row losing the first round.
Just
3
blow it
years
up.
in a row losing the first round via a close score too.
Blow it up. It's done.
Because it didn't work when it was just Russ, when everybody else was hurt with Kawhi and Paul George being hurt. It didn't work out when it was just Russ again with Paul George and Kawhi being hurt. And then it didn't work out with Kawhi and James Harden.
Blow it up, bro.
That's the thing. Like, and they had that new arena, that new expensive arena. I thought they was gonna lose. I thought they weren't. They shouldn't have not been good this year. They should just tank and let us have a good draft pick.
I feel like I'm kind of glad they lost. I don't want the Thunder to go see the Clippers
Because they can actually guard it.
They can actually play defense, bro.
That's the one team in the West besides the Thunder that can play defense.
And the Rockets.
The Rockets too.
I'm glad they lost too, bro. Like
the two teams that play defense.
Bro, I'm legit like okay against any team in the West now. That's like remaining. I'm legit good with those teams, bro. But the two teams that I did not want to see, bro, I was saying it all season, was the Rockets and the Clippers. Because they have the best defensive rating besides the Thunder, bro. And you know how it gets when Shea doesn't get off, bro. It gets rocky. So,
yeah. But
that's how it's gonna be in the finals. It's gonna be
so, since we're talking about next round predictions, like you got some predictions for. Let's go with Cavs versus Pacers first.
Cavs versus Pacers. I think the Cavs will get past them, and then I think they'll go see the Celtics. I think the Celtics will get past the Knicks. And I think the Celtics are going to beat the Knicks. The Cavs are going to beat the Pacers, and then the Celtics will beat the Pacers and the Eastern Conference Finals and go to the finals.
Oh, you think the Pacers are going to beat the Cavs?
No. I mean the
Celtics.
Cavs.
Celtics going to beat the Cavs?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the final Eastern Conference Finals.
And Thunder versus Nuggets.
Thunder versus Nuggets. I think the Thunder will win 4-2. I don't see the Nuggets winning 3 games, bro. The Thunder is a different team. Defense is better. We improve defense. We improve rebounding. So I think we'll have that edge, which is 2 of the most important factors. If you watch basketball, you know that's 2 of the most important factors of basketball. Defense and rebounding, we improve both of those. Yeah. So I think we'll get past the Nuggets. I think that the Timberwolves will beat the Warriors, and it'll be the Thunder versus Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals. And I think the Thunder will have the edge, probably 4-2 or 4-3 again. I think we might go to Game 7 with the Timberwolves, and I think we'll go to the finals and face the Celtics. But yeah.
Yeah.
Roll the clip of when I said all the older teams are done winning.
Oh, the one you said last year?
Because the Rockets, because the Warriors, they're done after this series, bro. Them going to 7 with the Rockets was everything that I needed to see.
Everything that you need to see?
Yeah.
And also, like, they went to 7, the Timberwolves went to 5. Timberwolves more rested. The Warriors are still coming off of some injuries with Jimmy Butler and everything else going on with them. So, yeah. But for me, I got Cavs winning this in 6. Like seeing the Pacers win Game 1 last night, pretty much showed me what I need to see for them. Like,
yeah,
I think the Cavs were still going to overcome. They got the
for sure. I wasn't surprised by the win. Yeah. It was just like the Cavs were rusty. I think they beat
them. They swept them.
They swept them. They had like 9 days of rest. Rest. Yeah. And I think that's what the Thunder gonna be rusty too. But I think we'll pull out the Game 1 win.
And then I think the Celtics got the Knicks in 5. Like besides their starting lineup, which is Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and Karl Anthony Towns. That's pretty much what they have on the team. Like, the only problem with them is, like, besides them constantly playing over 50 minutes a game, you got no bench, to be honest. Like, you got no one. That's the thing that made the Knicks team so different from last year. They actually had players off the bench, but since them trading for Cal Bridges, trading for Karl Anthony Towns, they had to get rid of a lot of pieces coming off the bench. So some of the people who were on that bench, like Josh Hart, is now a starter, where usually they're probably coming off the bench being the 6 man or stuff. Having that energy off the bench, you don't have that energy off the bench.
Yeah.
So I got the Celtics winning that at 5. I say Celtics beat the Cavs in 7. I feel like that one's definitely gonna be a closer game than for the Thunder and 5. Not really too worried about the Nuggets, to be honest.
I'm not either, but I just gave them the benefit of the doubt, giving them 2 games. I think they'll win probably like 1 at home. Then
I feel like Thunder gonna win the first 3,
Yeah.
and then lose the one at Denver in Game 4 because they don't want to get swept, and the Thunder just cruise on in Game 5.
yeah.
And then I got Timberwolves versus Warriors. I got the Wolves in 5. I feel like these two, like 2 young teams are gonna.
The Warriors are tired for sure, and I think the Timberwolves, they have better bigs, and they got a solid bench. They got solid scorers all around, and I don't think the Warriors can guard that. On the other hand, I think the Timberwolves can actually match up very well with the Warriors. I think Anthony Edwards is going to guard Steph Curry the whole series. And I think he's going to give him a run for his money, bro. It's going to get scary. But
it's definitely going to be a fun series to watch.
Yeah.
And then, I got Thunder beating the Timberwolves in 6. And then we'll see with Thunder versus Celtics.
Okay.
But also finish off with the NBA news. Gregg Pop is stepping away from coaching.
Shout out Pop.
I always hated the Spurs growing up.
I wouldn't even say I hated it. I hated the Mavericks. I didn't hate the Spurs though.
I hated the Spurs.
They were insanely good.
But it was because they were like the boring team watching.
Yeah.
Actually, fundamentals like 5 passes before you shoot the ball.
Yeah.
And then I hated the Mavericks, of course.
I hated the Grizzlies. I hated the Mavericks.
I was cool with the
I
Grizzlies.
hated the Lakers. And I hated the Warriors
I hate the Warriors.
in middle school, bro. Middle school and high school, I hated them.
I hated the Warriors. Like, I feel like I always tell this story when Thunder blew a 3-1 lead, bro. That was like the worst day of school.
Oklahoma City.
Can't spell choke while OKC. Like, every time I tell someone that story, they're like, no, what the? That actually does work. Where did the kids get this from? Like, Twitter? I'm like, probably.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes, bro. Yeah, but. So, what do you think is next for the Spurs with Gregg Pop stepping down? They're hiring
bro. They're young too, and they're gonna add more. They're gonna add more pieces, bro.
He was saying that Giannis to the Spurs. Did you see that on Twitter?
I've never seen that, but hey, I wouldn't be surprised, bro.
After Luka got traded, bro, anything can happen. At this point.
Like anything is possible.
But that's probably. I don't think that's gonna happen with the Bucks. Bucks are gonna hold Giannis for. They have to get like several first round. They would probably ask for Victor Wembanyama and a first round pick before they trade Giannis. They're not like the Bucks GM. Well, not Bucks. They're not like the Mavericks GM with Nico Harrison, which I know he's happy that the Lakers lost.
I think
the first
Giannis is just too loyal, bro. His loyalty is like,
like Kobe, bro. He's not gonna leave.
He's gonna play it out.
He got him a championship. That's at the end of the day.
He got nothing else to prove. He's like Aaron Donald, bro. He got nothing else to prove.
Got a championship, 2 MVPs.
2 MVPs. It's undeniable, bro.
They really talked about he should have more than 2, but they want to give more to Jokic than.
Yeah, it's undeniable, bro. Giannis is that. He's him.
Yeah. But there's no way to extend this before, the bucket. As you guys know, I lost in the college football prediction challenge, so I have to get ice.
Where's my supplies?
Please don't have some of this water. Supplies?
My supplies. This is how it get when you don't listen to the picks that I pick.
5 hours later.
Trying to kill me. Alright. Let's see if this is. Okay.
Can you see?
Yep.
Alright.
You want to say our socials before we head out?
Yes, sir. Not J.Jack on Instagram. The real J.Jack _ on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it.
Alright. primetime.siafa on Instagram, primetime.siafa on TikTok. Make sure you guys watch Me Personally Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, on every single platform. Hope you guys have a great day, and we out. Oh my gosh.
I just know that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.